Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Honored to be here this morning. This is probably the most fun thing, the most memorable thing that I get to do in this job as your U.S. representative in Congress. And that is to recognize the service and sacrifices of our nation's heroes. And today, we're going to honor Leonard Starkey. You didn't know that, did you?
I sure didn't.
Well, surprise, surprise. We're so glad that you're here. We're so honored and humbled by the service and sacrifices that you made for our nation. We have a special tribute for you this morning. We have some medals
Oh, for pity's sake.
from your service in Korea. I'm going to tell the folks what these medals are. You got so many of them, Leonard, I can't memorize them all, so I'm going to have to read them off of my sheet here. You got the Good Conduct Medal.
Oh, for pity's sake.
You don't think you had good conduct?
Right.
And time. More than 50% of the time qualified.
Something like that.
Okay. You have the Army Occupation Medal with the Japan class, the National Defense Service Medal, the Korean Service Medal with 3 Bronze Stars, and a United Nations Service Medal.
Wow.
Those are important memories of your time and your service and your sacrifice to our country, and I am so honored to present them to you. Can you come here with me? Can you walk?
Yeah, I can stand up. And these don't like to give out.
Come right here and so why don't you look at the camera right back there? See, you're going to be on television too.
Right, golly. I'll break the camera.
So much for good conduct. Huh?
Yeah. That would out the window.
Well, and your lovely wife is here with us today, Marcella.
Well, for pity's sake.
Since 1951.
She's been fooling me ever since.
Yes, she has. And
Cook on this side of town.
so your conduct improved after 1951, I think.
No.
She said no. Well, I'm going to set these right over here, and then I have something for you, Mr. Starkey, from the United States House of Representatives. This is a small token from me. It's a proclamation recognizing Leonard Starkey for his service to the United States during the Korean War. On behalf of the people of Ohio's 6th Congressional District, I am honored to recognize Leonard Starkey for his service to the United States during the Korean War. Leonard served 3 tours in the U.S. Army as a mechanic, including his service in the Korean War, after which he was honorably discharged as a staff sergeant. You and I have that in common.
Oh, wow.
Long before I was a lieutenant colonel, I was a staff sergeant. So I worked for a living at one time.
Sure did.
He earned a Good Conduct Medal, Army of Occupation Medal with the Japan class, National Defense Service Medal, Korean Service Medal with 3 Bronze Stars, and a United Nations Service Medal. Brave men like Leonard fought for the United States to help defend our ally, South Korea, from communist aggression. While the impact of this war is still being felt to this day, many history books sadly overlook or minimize this conflict. Thankfully, Leonard has shown a passion in his retirement for visiting area schools to share stories from his time in Korea in an effort to help students learn about the importance and lasting impact of the Korean War. Thus, with great pride, I am honored to recognize Leonard Starkey for his service to our great nation during the Korean War. I thank him for speaking with young people about his experiences, and I extend to him my best wishes as he enjoys retirement. We're fortunate this hero calls the Ohio Valley home. Leonard, we're proud of you. We thank you for your service.
Surely, thank you.
God bless you, my friend.
Servicemen,
Glad to do what I did.
servicemen, stand. Salute our comrade. Chief Hood, present on.
Hey,
Two.
You got anything to say, Leonard?
well, I did what they told me to do, and I tried to help out all I could. I did what I could do, and I did what I did.
Well, God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Your nation.
Thank everybody here, thank you.
Yes, sir. I'm going to turn this over to your friends and family here. I've got to go. Mayor Matthews expresses his regret that he was not able to be here this morning. His bride
He's
has
busy.
passed away, and her funeral is this morning.
Oh, that's bad.
And so I've got to run to that now, but on his behalf, I wanted to tell you he was really sorry that he couldn't be here.
Well, I appreciate that.
Okay. All right, God bless you.
Everything
Leonard.
here, everybody does.
Thank you very much. Honored to do this. Leonard, you're a hero today.
Oh, thank you. I can't classify myself. I want to thank everybody. I don't know what else to say. That's the first time I got sick, got nothing to say.
Not done yet.
Not done yet.
You sit there.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Looking fly.
This is Vern Cleveland, he's commander of the DSW.
Oh. I've heard about you.
I heard about him. Probably bad. I should like to ship him to the Ohio.
All right.
It was for me, so probably was.
A soldier above all others prays for peace, for it is the soldier who must suffer and bear the deepest wounds and scars of war. Leonard, you were not offered good pay, good quarters, nor good food. You were offered only hunger, thirst, forced marches, battle, and death. Yet you loved your country with all your heart and not merely your lips. You are a true American patriot. You're an American soldier, a warrior, a member of a team. You serve the people of the United States and live the Army values. You placed the mission first. You never accepted defeat. You never quit. You've never left a fallen comrade. You are disciplined, physically and mentally tough, trained and proficient in your warrior's tasks and drills. You always maintained your arms, your equipment, and yourself. You're an expert and a professional. You stood ready to deploy, engage, and destroy the enemies of the United States in close combat. You're a guardian of freedom, the American way of life. You're an American soldier. For services in the armed forces of the United States of America, I extend to you my personal thanks and the sincere appreciation of a grateful nation and the citizens of the Mid-Ohio Valley for your contribution and honorable service to our country. You have helped maintain the security of our nation and the world at a critical time in its history, with a devotion to duty and a sacrifice in keeping with the proud traditions of military service. When the call of our country was heard, you answered. Self was forgotten in the cause of a greater good. As a brave American, you marched away with an abiding faith in your God, your country, and your flag. As you gazed upon the flag, the red of our country's flag was made redder still by your heroism. The white, more stainlessly pure, by the motives that impelled you, and the starry field of our nation's glorious banner The blue has been made more radiant by the service you have given for American ideals. Thank you for the sacrifice you made in your willingness to serve our country. You endured hardships and were willing to risk life and limb to maintain our freedom. Your commitment and dedication to country has been an inspiration for all those who have and those who will follow in your footsteps. For those joining me today and all Americans, we are grateful to you for a job extremely well done. Leonard Starkey, thank you for your service to our nation. Thank you for the sacrifices you made and your willingness to serve our country. You survived adversities that only those in the service of our great nation will know. When you look on your certificates and read and gaze upon your flags, know your service to our nation is deeply appreciated. On behalf of the veterans of 4 wars, I salute you. May God bless you.
Thank you.
That's it.
All right, thank you very much.
Our guard is dismissed.
I think you guys will come.
Maria Stern, Commander of the American Legion.
Thank you.
I think we worked together for a few years.
Been a long
Cardiff,
time.
didn't you?
Been a long time. You still play?
You worked at Cardiff, right? You worked at Cardiff, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I worked there for 41 and a half years.
Long time.
Congratulations and thank you for your service.
Thank you.
He's the commander of the
Yeah.
American Legion.
Heard about you, dude.
Okay, thank you.
We got bad reputation.
We didn't get the good conduct medal.
I
found one.
deserted him like we're coming home on it.
Dad, this is Gloria Husk. She is the lady
It's an
that,
honor.
You take
to meet
care.
you. Thank you for your service.
she's the lady that served these medals. And
Regis. How are
Thank
you?
you.
Good, how you doing?
she put all this together for you, on the presentation block. And she is the lady that is most instrumental in assembling this whole thing in honor of you.
Well, thank you, thank you. Thank
You're
you.
very
welcome.
I thank
Don't
you.
think I deserve it, but,
Yes, you
Thank you.
do. Everybody deserves it, so.
well, now Mom will have to dust that.
It's easy. I got it in the slick paint, so.
I'll be all right.
I want to thank all of you.
Are you what?
Thank God.
My,
Nice to meet you.
My dad's kind of humble.
Nice to meet you.
He
Oh, okay.
doesn't say much about his service. He's told me a lot more in recent years, and as time goes on, I find out more and more of what he actually went through, and wasn't pretty. But main thing is, he's still with us here today. Annie, Bruce, thanks. All you guys, everybody, I appreciate y'all coming. He's sometimes a man of few words. Depends on since when? That's what I said. Depends on the situation. But again, this lady right here, a short story. I had to go through being a technological dummy, but with my job, I have to work with computers, and I know nothing about them. So I had to attend one of her classes for 3 days, and we happened to get talking about veterans, and I told her about my dad, and I told her that I had tried to retrieve the medals that he had lost over the years. And she took upon it herself she's a volunteer, huge veteran advocate. She's a volunteer for the Veterans Museum out of Parkersburg. She took it upon herself to procure all these medals and get this whole assembly together to honor my dad. Can't thank her enough, Gloria Husk. I can't thank. The only thing I apologize for is I was in her class for 3 days, and the only really thing I learned how to do was make a Christmas tree that lit up.
But that was fun.
The rest of it I still haven't absorbed all.
But he did that in Excel, by the way, which is very hard. He used macros.
But, again, without her, none of this would be possible, and I can't thank her enough. I know Mr. Haas back here is a veteran himself. He's studying to be a veterans advocate, which I think we need more of, because the veterans in this country are getting less and less recognized, and it's a shame because without the veterans, none of us would be here doing what we're doing.
Right.
So, just, if you can donate to the museums, anything you can do to help them out, please do it, because of people like my dad. Thank you.
That is very nice.
Would anybody else like to say anything?
I didn't think I earned that many.
You did.
If anybody else would like to speak or say anything, please feel free. If not, we're honored to have you. Thanks for coming. Thanks
And
for-
we can get Mr. Starkey back home, right? You're recovering, aren't you?
Yes, he was just in the hospital for 4 days. Matter of fact, Gloria and I have been in touch, and kind of not a funny story, but a story. Last night I was getting ready for bed, I got a phone call, and Dad needed to go back to the hospital last night. And, but it was his own doing. He was trying to
Take
help.
another point off that good conduct.
He actually
Right.
was trying to remove the bandage from his fistula because he knew he was coming to something to do with the Korean War. And he didn't want blood to appear on his arm.
Right.
So he tried to take the bandage off and he tore the fistula and it caused excessive bleeding and he had to get it. But he made it through
Yeah,
that.
he did.
Made it here today, so everything worked out.
I'll get to make it through the day and not all this.
Everything worked out well.
Right.
So thank you all very much.
Well, I would like to say that I appreciate every veteran here. If there's ever a time that you need me to do anything for your veteran family, please contact me. The museum is trying to become a resource center also. So if you have any, any veterans in need of anything, contact me. Mr. Bibby here also, our board member, Treasurer Dan Moore. Any of these people will help you or help the veteran locate any kind of services that they need. So, please reach out to us anytime. If we don't have the answers, we'll find the answers for you. But we want to start doing this more and more. We want to make sure that the community understands that we are full of a community of veterans, and we do need to recognize, the Korean War veterans. We need to recognize everybody, their service, that they have made sacrifices. Some are not here today because they made, the ultimate sacrifice. So we want to make sure that our public knows. I had a Boy Scout troop come in to the museum Thursday night. So excited. We were scheduled for an hour. They stayed for 2 hours. They they loved everything in there. They wanted to talk about everything that was in the museum. So if we can get, the public more aware of our veterans and honoring them, I think things will start changing with our country. So I appreciate all of you coming out for Mr. Starkey.
Well, I really, really appreciate you doing what you do.
Oh,
Well, I can state the fact if she says she's gonna do something, she's gonna do something. And also, just something that wasn't mentioned, that proclamation that Congressman Johnson read, he's actually gonna sponsor my dad on the floor of Congress, reading that proclamation on the floor of Congress, and then all of that information about Dad will be entered into the Library of Congress under his name through Mr. Johnson. I think
Yeah,
that's,
I'm not gonna talk.
really appreciate it. Now, the museum will be open for a couple of hours today. My daughter is actually a veteran, and she has a veteran-ran Girl Scout troop. She's selling cookies and donating, getting people to purchase boxes for the DAV for Parkersburg, for their food closet. So if anybody wants to come and tour the museum, you're over in Parkersburg today, please stop by. We'll probably be open from 2 to 4. So stop by and see what we're all about, and maybe grab a box of cookies and donate one to the DAV.
My dad and I were there. It's truly awesome. They have some from the Civil War clear up to present day. It's really it's a smaller place. They're trying to procure a bigger place.
Bigger location.
To expand it,
Yeah.
but it really is, it's awe-inspiring if you've never been there.
Yeah.
Thank you all again.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Could I just mention that right next door is also the Washington County Veterans Service?
Yeah, and I didn't know that. Yeah,
The
yeah.
Washington County Veterans Service.
Really? Okay. All right.
No, my husband.